Hello, back at it again for another video. Still haven't really figured out where to put my eyes. Sometimes I feel like it's kind of awkward, like I'm looking over there, and then I'm looking. If I look at the camera, remember it's like I'm looking at you, but then I can't see what I'm looking at. But we'll figure that out. We're gonna keep going with our Bible study today. We are on Genesis 10. Remember, we read through all of the we had just finished 8. We read Genesis 9. Then we read the generations. And that was chapter 10. And now we go on to chapter 11. So these are the families of the sons of Noah after their generations and their nations, and by the nations were divided in the earth after the flood. That was the verse 32. That's right, there was that fun name I was going to tell my wife about. Was it Joktan? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters a lot. But so many other things matter a lot too that, it's okay. Kinda, maybe. I don't know. It's not up to me what's okay. Well, I don't know. We can talk about that later, because forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Some people say forgive us our trespasses because we are currently forgiving those who trespass against us. But the way that I understand it, the way that it seems, is forgive us our trespasses in the same way that we forgive those who trespass against us. And I don't just say that just because I pulled it out my butt. There's some other places in there too where it's like you're going to be judged the way you judge. With the Revelation, with the measuring stick that you use, it's going to be used for you too. So the way you treat others is the way you want to be treated in the end. That golden rule kind of keeps on going, those sort of things. Then you get all freaked out, and you get all times you got mad at people, and then Jesus is like, "It's all good, dude. Just forgive them now. It's all good." And then you're like, "All right." And then you realize that you don't actually forgive them because you're still thinking about it, and it's still locked in your head, and you're still making up those fake little stories about people in your brain, even though you know they're not true. You know they're probably not true. They might be, and you better be prepared just in case. But they're never true. And then you say, "Devil's attacking me." But what if you're just being a goober? Who knows? God does. I'm kind of in a dull mood today. Kind of tired. Sorry if I'm not as enthusiastic as normal. I know. Yeah. All right, let's get started. Genesis 11. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, "Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, God was not part. And they said, "Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth." And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, "Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. All right. So the Tower of Babel is one of those famous stories I guess we should stop and talk about. The thing that bugs me, the thing that probably bugs other people too, is why in the world's God messing with them? It sounds like they're doing good. If I look down and that anthill's like 10 feet tall, and they're all speaking the same language, everybody's on the same page. Now they can do anything they imagine. Like, that sounds pretty darn good. Sounds like they've done a good job. Then it freaks you out a little bit, and you're like, what does that mean? Because it makes it seem like it's a power trip. Like God saying, they're almost as powerful as me. I better knock them down. But the way that I heard it explained that makes more sense is the imaginations in our heart were evil. They weren't good. We didn't want to be in that tower because we were going to go do a bunch of stuff that we did not want to do. And God was protecting us from ourselves, from us doing, and gosh, like that's so hard to accept because we don't know the hearts of men 6,000 years ago, or however long ago. But God did. So that's, I think, a lot of where faith comes in, you know, like where God hardened Pharaoh's heart. Like, why? Well, you don't know what Pharaoh's heart was to begin with. God does. And there's a lot of ways Pharaoh's heart could be where hardening his heart was probably a good thing. So, I don't know. Let's keep on going. The generations of Shem, the ancestor of Abram. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years and begat sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years and begat Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Salah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years and begat Eber. And Salah lived after he begat Eber 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 34 years and begat Peleg. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years and begat sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years and begat Reu. R-E-U. Reu. And Peleg lived after he begot Reu. However you do that one. 209 years and begat sons and daughters. And Reu lived 230 years and begat Serug. And Reu lived after he begat Serug 207 years and begat sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years and begat Nahor. And Serug lived after he begat Nahor 200 years and begat sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 29 years and begat Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram and Nahor and Haran. It's a bug on me. I lost my spot. And Nahor lived 920 years and begat Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 950 years and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor took them wives, and the name of Abram's wife was Sarai. And the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, and the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. I didn't keep track of any of that. I hope y'all did. But Sarai was barren. She had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife. And they went forth with them from Ur of Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years. And Terah died in Haran. All right. So we go into Lot now? Abram. We're going to Abram now. Chapter 12. You guys want to go ahead and read chapter 12 too? I think this is like Abram. Oh, chapter 12 is a doozy. It's getting kind of dark. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Chapter 12. Now the Lord God had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will shew thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. All right, some people say that's still true, so God bless Abraham. So now, since God said that to Abraham, God's got to bless me too, right? There you go. So Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. Yeah, guys, so like, sometimes when like God's offering you good things, you feel like you don't deserve it. You're like, I don't deserve to ask. Why would God's not going to give me a blessing just for saying that with Abraham? But he said he would, like he promised, right? And now, if it's Old Testament, New Testament, New Covenant, Old Covenant, like those sorts of like, but there are things that God promised, right? Like believe on his son and you will go to heaven, okay? Now, why would God hold back a good thing from you when he already gave you everything in his son? Like if somebody sacrificed their son for you, right? Like had their son go and die to save your life, why would you then look at them and say, no, I surely can't go to your house? Like, what? Like, yeah, that's the house you should probably want to go to. You know, the dude, he already sacrificed his son. Don't give him a double whammy. Don't have him lose his son and lose you, because he does want you. And you're not making him proud of you by like hitting yourself on the back. Like he's like, okay, dude, like you and everybody has done that. I just want you to be good. I want you to be well so I can use you to be my soldier. And I'm only saying, I can only ever teach you guys things that, you know, I struggled with myself. And the answers that I give you aren't going to be complete, because I'm not there yet. I'm not in heaven. I'm right here on earth sitting by my front door. There's spiders everywhere, and they scare me. There might be spiders in heaven, but they won't scare you. They won't be scary in heaven, because I don't know how heaven works. You guys are getting me distracted. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And the souls that they had gotten? What in the world does that mean? And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. That was the dude that had the land of Canaan. Who was that? Started with the H that we read about yesterday. Somebody say it. Uh-oh, y'all hadn't been studying your Bible because you don't know it. I don't know it either. That's why I didn't tell you. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Sichem, unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west and Hai on the east. And there he builded an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south. Okay, somebody made a good point here too, so this kind of answers a little bit of our Old Covenant, New Covenant thing. So still keep blessing Abraham, because the 10 Commandments haven't been put down yet. So Abraham isn't really living under a covenant thus far, as far as I understand, which I find out all the time isn't very much, because people tell me I'm wrong about stuff, and then I'm like, well, yeah, dude, you're kind of right. So could be wrong, but we'll find out. But let's keep going, because I forgot what I was talking about. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee. All right, here is a really good example of us talking about how the devil is that emotional response. Because what is Abram's emotion right here is fear. So his emotion, he's afraid that he's going to be killed and they're going to take his wife. Huge compliment for his wife, right? He's saying, dude, like, you're so pretty that they're going to kill me to take you, right? So you can pretend you're my sister, right? Now, that's a fear response. It didn't end up going too great, right? Because then, well, let's keep on going. Sarai is taken by Pharaoh. Okay, here we go. And it came to pass that when Abram was come into Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman, that she was very fair. The princesses also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he entreated Abram well for her sake, and he had sheep and oxen, and he asses, and men servants, and maidservants, and she asses, and camels. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. So, because Abram did this, Pharaoh is now getting plagued, because this is one of the things that bugs me about the world, about the law, because it seems like God is separate from the law. So it seems like if God is, so not that God is separate, God's hand, God's not going to interfere with the law, especially in this regard, which he does interfere with the law with Jesus, right? He abolishes the law. He fulfills the law. We are now freed from the law of sin and death. But in this law of sin and death, Pharaoh is committing this sin unknowingly and is still being plagued for it. And then we go on, and Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What is that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Why saidst thou, she is my sister, so I might have taken her to be my, me to wife? Now therefore, behold thy wife, take her and go thy way." And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away, and his wife, and all that he had. So how in the world does Pharaoh know that these plagues are caused by Abram? How did that get put together? Because to us, a plague, what caused this plague on me? Oh, it was the rats who had the germs, who brought this over. And you know how you get those thoughts sometimes? Oh, this happened to me because I did this thing that seems completely disconnected a week ago. What if sometimes those are true? Because how in the world did Pharaoh put this together? Because there wasn't like a Bible there. Like, we're still in chapter 12 of the first book. It's like, how in the world does Pharaoh know that these plagues are happening because of adultery? So how, like, does that make sense? Like, how? So to me, like, that law is, they say it's already written on our hearts. We know it already. Maybe that's true. This is the same shirt I was wearing yesterday. No, I didn't wash it. You're welcome. That was a fun one. So we'll go on to chapter 13 tomorrow. What? You guys want to read it now? You guys want to go ahead? It's only 18 verses. All right, let's do it. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. And he went on his journeys from the south, even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hai, unto the place of the altar which he had made there at the first. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents, and the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. That's a good problem to have. You know, you got so much stuff that you got to move further away from your brother, right, or your neighbor. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle, and the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land. So that's something interesting to think about as we think about Abram and Lot, like they're like these regular Joe dudes, and they kind of started that way necessarily, but now they're kind of like kings, right? So they got all these lands and servants, but they're mostly their kids, right? And Abram said unto Lot, "Let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left." And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tents toward Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, Lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward, and southward, and eastward, and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it, and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. Then Abram removed his tent, and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord. I kind of didn't really keep track of all of that too good. I just kind of read it. Maybe we should have stopped on chapter 12. Maybe. We'll see. So Lot has gone to Sodom, and I'm assuming we kind of know where that's going. And where did Abraham end up? Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built another altar unto the Lord. So Lot ended up in Sodom. Abram ended up in Hebron, Mamre, in the plain of Mamre in Hebron. Okay. And then I think we know I think we all know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, somewhat, I guess, at least. We're on chapter 14 now, so we got a little extra in there. Okay, any questions, you can put them in the comments. Surely somebody will answer you. You do your little prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the people that are still watching this video to this point. They got 3 chapters of Bible reading in today, so you just lock that into their Bible reading bank. Dear Lord, let's remind them that if they bless Abraham, that you'll bless them. So let's go on and bless Abraham. I think the same thing is with Israel too. So bless Israel, and we'll be blessed. But the big one, Lord, the big one is that your son died on the cross for us. And it's only thanks to that we can even sit down here and pray and make these videos, that he's alive today to keep us safe. Because without Jesus, then, well, there's no us. In your name I pray, amen.